And we start the news from Parliament. Some minority members of Parliament are kicking against the appointment of Jean Mensa as the Electoral Commission chairperson, accusing her of being pro-MPP. They claim the appointment by President Akufo-Addo is part of his grand strategy to rig the 2020 elections. They are also kicking against the appointment of Dr. Bosman Asari, who they also claim leans towards the governing New Patriotic Party. Parliamentary correspondent Joseph Opoku-Gakpo spoke to Alhaji Abi Fuseni, Kwabena Minta Akando, and Sam George.
Even the NDC, we had problems with the IEA after some time. We had to even boycott the IEA under her patronage. So we have issues to raise regarding the credentials of those. And even Bosman, they have made statements to the effect that they are sympathetic to the MPP. So there's no doubt about that. And the indecent haste with which the MPP has been to us, we bundle the three commissioners out and then go ahead and then immediately appoint people of their liking to those positions. I leave no doubt in our minds that the MPP is in an attempt to pack the electoral commission in order to steal the verdict of 2020 because they are so hopelessly uninspiring and many Ghanaians are ready to boot them out.
So for you, who rather should have been appointed to the EC?
The issue first, even the resolution of Madam Charlotte Say and the two, for us has not even been resolved. So nobody should even be talking about an appointment.
Brother, I am telling you, I mean categorically, that I, Kwabena Minta Akando, I don't trust her neutrality. That's the point I made. I don't trust her neutrality. I have said it already, that I'm saying that owing to her own interviews she has granted in this country, especially before 2016 elections, when she sought to paint the picture or create the impression that His Excellency, the former President John Dramani Mahama, was running away from IAA debate.
When you know an individual and you know what their preclusions are, you need an independent-minded person. Take, for example, Madame Charlotte Osei, Dr. Farijan. These are individuals who may have voted in the past.
Police on the other side kicked against Charlotte Osei as well.
They kicked against Charlotte Osei. They kicked against Charlotte Osei on very frivolous positions, saying that she had used her femininity to get the appointment. Nobody's making that allegation against Madame Jean Mensa. What we're saying is, if you've watched the work of the IEA, if you've watched the processes of or the political engagements of Madame Jean Mensa, it's obvious to know, to the uninitiated, it is obvious to know what her political leanings are.
This is somebody.
So we also know that from the side of the minority, they've also been defending the appointment. The chair of the Government Assurances Committee and member of Special Budget Committee, Yao Frimpong-Addo, is denying claims by the minority there's a deliberate plot by President Akufo-Addo to rig the 2020 elections by the nomination of these appointees.
Since the dispensation started, MPP we have appointed just one or two people. So the rest, anytime the NDC had been in power, they have the opportunity to appoint. And if that has been their modus operandi, maybe that is their cup of tea. But this one, I don't even know, they have not met them anywhere in our party activity, at least where I stand right now. So I belong to the elite in our party.
Yes, as chairman of the Government Assurances Committee, as member of Parliament for many years. So the point you are making is that, as far as you are concerned, these are not individuals who you've met in any of your party activities since you've been around.
So we've not met them.
Exactly party people.
Exactly. I don't know them. I don't know them to be party officials. And I know party officials.
And party members? But are they party members?
They are not. Membership, I've not come across any of them. A membership card belonging to any of them.
I am proud of her. I know she's going to work. I've known her. I've seen her a couple of times. She's not a friend, but I know her competence. Me, the first time I saw her, I was like, this one, is she NDC? And I hear today from you guys that she's MPP. I don't mind the party she belongs to. If she's MPP, she deserves it. Martin Amidu was appointed from NDC. Yet Ghana is going on. My only problem I don't want to happen. I want her to be very fair. I want her to be very principled. I want her to draw the line where she should say no. She should have the guts to say no, irrespective of who appointed her. We want Ghana to work. We don't want Ghana to collapse under her regime. So that is what I wish for her. But for whatever party she comes from, I don't have a problem.
Well, still in Parliament, Member of Parliament for Asing Central, Kennedy Japan, has apologized to the House for calling the legislature cheap. He rendered the apology when he appeared before Parliament's Privileges Committee investigating contempt allegations made against him. The Member of Parliament, however, denied describing the House as useless.
I have said again that I was furious based on, what was going on, people granting interview here and there, condemning me. So I was furious and I said that. And I don't mind retracting that word. But I want to state on record that I never said Parliament is useless. That I would never admit it because I never said that. But I said Parliament, ayeful.
Very well.
And I'm sorry.
I'm asking the honourable member, given the opportunity, is he prepared to write an unqualified apology to Parliament? That's my simple sort of thing.
What do you mean by unqualified apology? What I've said here is what? Yeah, what is that?
We'll bring you more insights, I'm sure, later on the program. But let's move on to education sector now. The Ministry of Education is currently undertaking a rigorous review of the country's educational institutions' curricula. The exercise is expected to develop critical thinking students at all levels. Council Chairman of the Ghana Education Service, Michael Nsoa, says the review should end the practice where facilitators of students spoon-fed learners instead of adopting practical-oriented approaches geared towards unearthing the innate talent and skills of students. Mahmoud Mohamed Nuruddin now reports.
Since its commencement in 2009, Jackson Educational College has produced over 7,000 diplomats who are nurtured to meet the growing demand of today's educational need. Council Chairman of the Ghana Education Service, Mr. Michael Nsoa, advised the graduates to be wary of behaviors that do not augur well for the profession. He also cautioned teachers to desist from ridiculing their students via social media.
Advise them to be wary of those behaviors, like, stripping children naked when they go wrong, or when they are unable to do some work in the classroom. Then you take your phone and to ridicule this child on the social media. It is highly unprofessional, and that's why I was calling that if they are going to do that, they should be sure that the system will not tolerate that, and then we'll make sure that they don't continue to be teachers.
Mr. Nsoa said the Ghana Education Service would effectively cooperate and support the Ministry of Education to ensure a successful completion of reviewing curricula of educational institutions in the country. Acting Vice Chancellor of the University of Education, Winneba, Reverend Father Professor Anthony Afo Broni, indicated that development of Ghana depends on its resources, and therefore teachers should be upright and knowledgeable.
The development of a country depends on the quality of its human resources. The basic school teacher is therefore a very important person and should be well groomed to impart the right knowledge to the peoples. The peoples must be taught the way they should go, and when they are old, will not depart from it.
1,393 students graduated with diploma in basic and French education.
Well, in our Survivor series for this week, we bring you the captivating story of a 24-year-old student who fends for a family of 8. She makes just 250 Ghana cedis a month by working as a door-to-door beautician. And despite her life struggles, Alberta Bosman, not related to Dr. Bosman in a way, hopes to become a cosmetologist in future. JoyNews' Jacqueline Sylvia Nate has been following her and filed this report.
Meet 24-year-old Alberta Bosman, a journalism student. Every day of her life is a struggle, from what to eat when the sun comes up to paying her school fees. Life has been complicated for her. After her parents divorced when she was young, Alberta had to take up the responsibility of catering for her siblings.
My mom, because of that, I don't know, had this kind of pain towards us, the children. So with that kind of pain, she was treating us, she wasn't giving us the treatment we deserved, because it was like when she sees us, she sees like our father and the pain my dad has caused her and the things she had to go through when my father had no money, helping my dad to now get money and then he now leaving her.
Alberta's life today is another sad example how poverty can force parents to take very harsh decisions. After completing secondary school, her mother stopped taking care of her, forcing her to live sometimes on the streets of Accra. And that began her struggle to survive.
I really wanted to do something for myself because I wasn't getting support from my mom. Since I was the oldest, taking care of my siblings, I have to wake up every day, sweep, wash for all of them, cook for all of them, and make sure they go to school before I now go to school. And I was like, no, you are not taking care of me, so I have to do something on my own. So I realized she wasn't helping me, and I had to take that decision and leave. Because 14 December 2014, I left home. My mom wasn't aware. That's why I'm always having big bags, because I'm now used to it. Because then when I left home, everywhere I go, I just carry my sponge, my soap, my brush, my dress, everything is inside, because I don't know where I'll be spending the night.
But Alberta has a skill. She's a talented beautician. She goes to her customers' homes to work for them whenever she gets called up. This is not a job that earns her much.
For the news, it's not always that I go, but it's the hair. As I go maybe from house to house, shops, and I go to them and I tell them this is what I do.
Her clients are satisfied with her work. I met one of them.
Before we came for the second semester, she actually called me on phone and she was like, oh, since I've started fixing nails, wigs and stuff. And I said, oh, okay. So she was like, she will always fix my nails for me. She's like, I should come and learn. Like, I should contact her so that she will teach me how to learn how to fix nails and make wigs as well, and beads as well. Okay. Yeah, I have a contact. So anytime I feel I want to make my nails, then I just give her a call.
Most of her peers do not have to pay their own school fees or even worry about where the next meal is coming from. But Alberta has seen the ugly episodes in her life.
From 2012 to 2014 to 2017. 2017 should be, I think, 4 or 5 jobs. The fourth one, Atlantic Tulip, and the fifth one, Valley View Clinic, where I was working in the kitchen. We were cooking, we cook and we serve the patient's food. It's a psychiatric hospital. Okay. So we cook and we serve the patient's food. That was where I was, and then I was being paid 300 Ghana cedis a month. So I saved the money. I also worked there for a year. I was sleeping in the lab.
The lab?
Yes. The hospital's
The hospital's lab?
Yes. There was no bed.
So how? On the bare floor?
Yes. There, you see this chairs, this sofa, I don't know, the chairs, the sofa, the ones the patients use, the ones they stand and they just sit on and they urinate because they give them drip. That was what I used to lay on the floor. I could lay like 5, 6 on the floor. And then I had one cloth I was using. I just use it to cover it and I sleep on it.
Alberta is struggling to make ends meet, but she's determined not to give up. Yes, she says she needs help, but has this advice for ladies her age.
I've realized that one thing out is like the way the ladies, it's not easy. I realize that more women or more ladies as well. We are like, we depend on men too much, and it has not helped. Because me like this, there has been a point in time where I've had to depend so much on men. And though I got what I wanted, it didn't really last. So if there's anything that I would want to say, I would want to say that we the ladies, there are many, many opportunities for us that we can use to become better or to earn a living, rather than we depending on the men and them making us feel inferior.
Life is indeed hard. Maybe someday when she perfects her art and starts earning some income after school, Alberta can look back to these difficult days and inspire others to have hope. Alberta is a survivor. For JoyNews, Jacqueline Sylvia Nate reporting.
Well, great surviving story. And Jacqueline Sylvia Nate, well, filed the following report. Well, we're all survivors. Myself, Mama Viosa Boaji and Kojo Yankson, we're all surviving. So we'll be surviving as we do review of the newspapers soon. We'll be looking at the critical stories very soon. Please stay on. We'll be right back.